Welcome back. An elementary school teacher and a BC ambulance dispatcher have met for the first time. But the two will share a bond for the rest of their lives after they helped save the life of a child together. As Tina Lovegreen reports, that incident has not only brought them together, it has started a campaign to improve safety for all students.
Hello, BC Ambulance here. For which city, please?
I remember it was a nice, warm summer day. The weather was very, very pleasant.
We have our 10-minute break time, and so we headed outside, and there were some kids playing tag, and then a couple students asked to run the track, and then one of the girls came back and said one of my students had fallen, and they weren't responding, and so I hustled over, and what I saw was my student looking very dead.
Hello?
Hello?
I'm sorry, you're cutting in and out. I couldn't hear you at all. You're where?
Even before I knew what was going on, I could hear it in her voice that this was very likely to be something bad.
The student had gone into sudden cardiac arrest.
I've taken first aid, I've taught first aid. At that time, I didn't know how to respond.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Can I give you a hug?
Sure you can. Sure.
For the first time since the incident, the elementary teacher met the dispatcher who answered her call.
Ready?
Yep.
Together, they listened back to the call they'll never forget.
Put your other hand on top of that hand. You're going to pump the chest hard and fast, at least twice per second and 2 inches deep. Let the chest come all the way up between pumps. We're going to do this 600 times or until help can take over. Count out loud so I can count with you, okay? Start counting out loud now. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3.
1,
1, 2,
2. We're almost there. You can hear
We're
the siren.
almost there. I can hear the sirens.
Good. Now don't stop until the paramedics take
Don't
over
stop.
physically.
Okay, the paramedics are here.
Okay, you did a great job, miss. Everyone there, okay? From us, from me. Tell them they did a great job.
You did a great job, guys.
Through each other's help, they were able to save the child, who has since made a full recovery.
Unfortunately, the doctors never figured out what happened. They were able to give the student a pacemaker, so if it ever happened again, they would be okay.
Since the incident, Swain has become an advocate for automated external defibrillators, or AEDs, to be in all schools.
We didn't have one on scene at that time. The dispatcher asked me to send for one, and unfortunately, when the student came back and said, "We don't have one at the school," I remember feeling extremely disheartened. I didn't have the tools to save this child's life.
Currently, it's not legislated or recommended to have them in schools in BC. Tina Lovegreen, CBC News, Vancouver.
As you heard, there is no legislation that requires schools to have AEDs, but some school districts have already installed them, like Coquitlam in West Vancouver. Now, New Westminster is in the process of doing that as well.